Gekko has been out for a few weeks now, and today I'll be giving you a guide for how to play him on Ascent. I reached my peak rank by just playing Gekko, and I think he's pretty good here on this map. So in this video I'll go over things like spots to use Dizzy, combining your util to take sites, retakes, lineups, and things like that. I'll have timestamps in the description so you can check those out if you're just here for a certain ability or a specific area of the map. Otherwise, let's get straight into it. First ability I'll talk about is Dizzy, and especially on attack. First off, I like throwing him up here in tiles. You can see you stand here and throw it straight up, because that will blind people who are either pushing mid from tree. You can see you're in tree, you get flashed. And also if they're pushing from market down into mid, throw this flash up and it will get them as well. So throwing this one helps you take early mid control, see if the enemy's pushing. And of course, you can just pick it up again very safely to use again in 10 seconds. Now, when it actually comes to hitting sights on Ascent, you don't have to be too careful with Dizzy. What I normally do is I literally just throw it over the top of this wall like so. And then you can see it'll blind Heaven, Dice, Gen, any of these close angles as well. For example, I'm standing here watching close, I get blinded. Or I'm tucked in this corner thinking I'm safe when all of a sudden Dizzy comes in over the top and flashes me. If you're having a hard time getting it over the top, what you can also do is get on top of the bike, on top of these boxes, and throw it over here. This way it'll get a lot more height and make sure it doesn't get stuck up here or anything like that. The only issue with that one is that you can't follow up on it yourself, and instead you're relying on the teammates to get the most out of that information. Then towards B, what I like to do is throw him through this window. Just aim at this fish sign doing a running jump. It'll go through here, and this will clear out a lot of different angles, especially this one I find is like the pivotal one. And if you throw this flash, it will come all the way through and blind someone even if they're in this corner. And then you can see where it will land is actually relatively safe to pick up. The only problem here is going to be this, but normally this will be smoked off, so you should be able to just come through, pick this up pretty safely. So that was for attack, and then on defense, you'll mostly just be throwing Dizzy straight up into the air. For example, here in tree, you can just throw him straight up here. This will give you information into A lobby and as well into mid. Even pushing up cat, this is one that pro players use sometimes. And if someone else is watching A for you, you don't care too much about A, you can come over, stand in this corner, aim straight up. This one will give you even more information about mid. Like if someone's here in tiles trying to watch tree, this flash comes up and all of a sudden you know they're there. And then like what I mentioned earlier, the beauty of all these defensive flashes is when you throw them straight up, they'll come straight back down to you. You can very, very safely pick it up. This way you can use this flash like even up to 4 or 5 times in a single round. Then in market, you can do basically the exact same thing as tree, just stand up against this wall, throw it straight up into the air, making sure you can see the sky. And then that will flash basically anyone in mid. It won't quite get all the way back there, but pretty much past this line, anyone in mid it'll get, even pushing up all the way here, it'll see them. And then if you hear the enemies pushing out onto B, all you have to do, same thing over here, throw it straight up. This way you can swing out with this flash, get anyone on here. And if you throw this one, it can even reach all the way towards backside. So when you throw it, try to keep an eye on exactly where the flash goes. So then that way you know where the enemy is going to be. And then probably my favorite Gekko flash on Ascent is going to be over towards the B site. All you do is stand roughly under this window, aim to the right of it, and just throw it right there. Because then it will flash anyone in this entire A lobby area. It's very, very easy to do. You don't have to be precise. Just aim against that wall, throw it, and it'll bounce down safely here for you to pick up. And even from the enemy's perspective, if you shoot this flash, you still give away your position. So you basically get free information about what's happening in B lobby. Now I'll talk about Wingman, specifically focusing on like clearing angles and stunning people. Towards A, you can actually clear out wine with him all the way back here. Just aim at this vent right there, and you'll see that he just comes far enough that if there is anyone in this wine area, he will just manage to stun them for you. Then you can very safely retrieve this orb and still plant the spike with him later in the round. Now using Wingman to get into tree is going to be very, very powerful. All you have to do is be standing roughly around this area, aim just to the right of the trash bag, and take a look at how many angles it will clear out. First of all, if there's anyone on the right here, it'll obviously get them. And that will then also include anyone on top of those boxes. This close left part of tree can be really difficult to clear out, but this Wingman will be able to tell you if there's anyone there. If there's no one there, he'll then start bouncing his way in towards tree. So if someone is here, he'll spot them for you. And then finally, after he's cleared out all of those other angles, you will see that he can also clear someone standing close right here as well. And that to get this last angle, you might have to be a little bit closer, just be mindful of that. But still, that is a crazy amount of stuff you can clear with just one Wingman. Wingman is also really good for pushing up mid on attack. All you have to do is throw it against like the left area of this wall. It'll clear out anyone in pizza. You can see if there's anyone here in pizza, it'll get them. And it doesn't matter the angle you throw it from, even if you're on the left, as long as you bounce it off those bricks, it will actually still manage to see anyone in pizza, like so. And it will also manage to get anyone in market. You can see it bounces up here, sees the guy in market, and then we'll come straight for him. Even all the way back here in market, it'll get this guy as well. And if someone is standing here in market, Wingman won't even make it to the bricks. You can see, just pick up on this guy and go straight for him. So I really like using Wingman here. The only thing to be careful about is if there is someone in both of these spots, he'll only go for one of them. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, Wingman here is really strong. Then on B, there are two ways I like to use Wingman. First of all, if you're pushing into B main, just aim him roughly at this little line on the ground here. So just shoot him roughly there, and you'll see that it'll clear this entire close area. So that one's just for this close angle. If this is already clear, what I like to do is throw him right at this corner in logs, because as you will see, he comes through here. If there is someone in logs, he'll stun that guy pretty easily. Then he'll also be able to get anyone over here on the left near the switch, so this angle right here. You can clear this one out, and of course anyone on the close left as well. Wingman will be able to spot them and get them easily. Just the same thing as market, keep in mind, he can only get one of these people at the same time. So if there's like two different people right here, only one of them is going to get stunned. I don't think I need to talk much about planning the spike with Wingman. Just push out with your team, take the site like usual, but you can help them fight instead of being stuck planning the spike. If you really need help with where to plant the spike though, on the A, either right here on Dice or over here on the Gen is where I like to go. And then on B, what I like to do is throw him against here, because I think that's a really good post plant spot to hold from. You can see it's really easy to see anyone if you're coming in from alley, or if you're coming in from stairs down as well. You can see whoever's using the spike pretty easily. So get Wingman to plant there on B. Also, unless you're doing like a coordinated push with your team, I wouldn't just throw Wingman out on defense like this, because even if there's no one there, it's normally too risky to come all the way out here and pick him up. So instead on defense, I like to just save him for the retake and use him on the spike. And now we'll look at some attacking Mosh lineups. Starting off over on the A site, this one's pretty good. You can see it clears a lot of area around heaven, and it can also kill someone behind Dice. To throw that one, I just did what you want to do. Stand in this corner over here. Find this faint little cloud here, aim just under it, then just do a jumping throw, and you'll see that this one lands right on the edge of heaven. So this is what it'll clear out. It will kill the guy right behind Dice. They can stand on the edge and take like 75 damage, but I still think that is a good one. I mean, after all, I did see Shao using it in a pro game, so Navi clearly seems to think it's good as well. Now instead, if you want to clear Gen, what you can do is stand in this same spot. Then you want to look for this area here, aim your HUD with it like so. Then again, you want to do a jumping throw. And you can see this one lands really nicely towards the back of Gen. It'll clear out the entire back area, and if you're coming through main, you can see they'll either run out to the right or they'll run out to the left. Easy kills. Now a lineup to clear stairs on B. Credit to Vladkov for this one. You stand in this corner outside of B lobby. Aim right here to the left of the antenna. Then do a jump throw. You can see this one is going to come all the way back here, and then pretty easily clear out all of stairs. They'll either have to run back out here towards CT, or they'll be forced to run out onto site. Now some post-plant lineups for attack. This planted there on Gen. Come back to this corner. Find this faint little cloud here, and then just do a normal throw. See, this one will land a little bit past the spike, but still it'll clear out this entire area here. Anyone trying to defuse. And then if it's planted on Dice, it's going to be even easier. Back to this same corner, and just find this spot right here. Do a normal throw, and this one will very easily clear out Dice. Again, stop anyone defusing the spike there. Now on B, this one really good lineup to clear out basically this entire corner of the site. So whether you plant it back here, there, or here, this lineup will clear out all of these spots. What we want to do is come back to this spot we were in before. Above these two white lines right here, looks like the darkest part of the cloud, right around there. Then just do a normal throw, and you'll see, like I said, this one is basically going to be able to clear out all three of these default plant spots towards the back of the B site. Just quickly, I'll show you some defensive Mosh lineups for A. I always like to pressure Gen. Two different ways to get Mosh there. One, you can stand in this corner, aim at this pole, really easy, just do a normal throw like that. And then you can see this one lands right on Gen, stop anyone planting it there. Alternatively, if you want to land a little bit faster, you need to run roughly into this wall and aim at these like 3 yellow pieces of tape. So you're running the whole time, aiming at these 3 yellow pieces, throw it like so, and then again, it'll land right down there. And then on B, what I like to do on defense is I stop here at this wall. Then at this top right part of the window, align your HUD up with it like so. Should look something like that. Then just do a normal throw. And then with that one, as we're coming into retake, that Mosh will land on top of the boxes here. So anyone standing around here will be disrupted, and it just messes with the enemies as we're coming out onto site. Now using Gekko's ultimate isn't hard by any means, but I think a lot of people focus too much on the detaining aspect of it. Just remember that you can use this ultimate twice if you're careful. So especially on attack, what I'll normally do is have the first use be dedicated to clearing out the entire site. Then I just make sure the ultimate ends up somewhere safe, so then I can retrieve it for a second use later in the round. So as an example, what I'd usually do is bring it out onto site here. You can see back here behind Gen, back behind Dice, end up in hell. You just clear out the entire site just like that. And then you get to come out over here, pick this up safely, and then have a second use for later in the round. And then it's the same thing over on B. Just bring it through, clear out everything around here. Okay, there's a guy stairs, tell your team. All the way back side, you can see just cleared out everything like that. Then we can go over to Boathouse, pick up our ultimate to use it again later in the round, and get 2 really good uses out of the ultimate. You could also detain the guy here, and the risk is you just haven't cleared Boathouse. And I just see a lot of people with Gekko's ultimate, they only get 1 use out of it because they get too greedy. Like with the first use, they see some guy back here, so they bring it all the way here. Sure, they get a detain on this guy, but then this is a hard kill to get, and then their ultimate is stuck over way back there. They're probably not getting that back. So now that I've gone over all of Gekko's utility on Ascent individually, I'll show a few examples of what you could do with all that utility together when you're hitting a site or retaking a site. So if you're hitting A, what you can do is we'll start off with that Mosh lineup I showed earlier. So this one, we line up your HUD like that, then just do a jump throw. Then as that one's coming through, you can throw your flash in over the top for your team. Get Dizzy to plant the spike over here towards Dice. Mosh is clearing out Gen while that's happening on. Your team's watching Heaven for you, the smokes are up. Then you can come over here, get Switch, Dizzy's planting the spike for you. Then you can pretty safely retrieve these, pick these both up, and get ready to play post plant. Now when I actually hit B, I don't normally use my Wingman. What I'll just do instead is go for a Mosh lineup or something, get that to clear out stairs, wait a little bit for this one to come down, and then as it's coming in, throw the flash. As people are running away from the Mosh pit, they then get flashed. The smoke stop, we get to come through here safely. The flash would have told us if there was anyone here, here, stuff like that. The only spot you have to worry about is in cubby. Then as we come through onto site, throw Wingman right down there. And then we get to come back over here, pick up Dizzy, then go back to site, get Wingman, and ready for post plant again. So what an A retake could look like with Gekko, we want to clear out Gen first, so we throw that for Gen. Obviously get our flash going over the top as well, but keep an eye on the flash. It hits someone down here, so then we get that guy, clear out Gen, get Wingman on the bomb, and then hold from either main or tree, wherever we think they are. And then should be easy enough. Obviously, Wingman on the spike for us makes things much easier. While I'm here, I want to show off this flash for a retake as well. You just want to get it just to the left of this thing up here. As you can see, when you throw this one, it'll end up by around here. So by this point, it clears all behind here. It clears here, behind Dice, behind there. Even under Gen if they wait and come back after your molly. So throw that flash when you're retaking A. Now looking at a B retake, you do have to be careful throwing this Mosh that I talked about because you are sort of exposed to here, but normally that'll be smoked off. So you get to come here, through this Mosh pit, wait for that to come through. Then as you come through this smoke, you want to flash right over the top here, because then it'll tell you, oh, there's some guy on the left. Take care of the guy on the left, and then again, Wingman on the spike. You can clear out backside yourself, and then probably the rest of them are in main. So you just hold this as Wingman diffuses for you. Easy as that. So that was a quick look at how you can use Gekko's utility to take and retake sites on Ascent, as well as just how to use his abilities here in general. Now I plan on making videos like this for most, if not all, the other maps as well. So if you have any feedback on this video, please let me know. If you thought some stuff wasn't important, if you wanted me to talk about some other things for longer, give more examples, let me know. So hopefully when I get around to the other maps, these videos can be even better.